It's official, guys. Keeping Up with the Sussexes will soon be on Netflix. Yes, it has been confirmed by page 6 in the New York Post, and I generally tend to believe this report that Harry and Meghan have officially just descended to the lowest of the low and now are doing a reality television show about their lives that they've called a docu-series before. I've seen that floating around, like a reality documentary or something. No. I've always called it a reality television show, and it is official. And, this is not necessarily a surprise. Harry and Meghan have shown us that they really just don't have any talent for anything. But this is a huge disappointment, I'm sure, to the palace, maybe to some of their fans as well, and just to the general public to show, what are you guys doing? You left the royal family to try to be the Kardashians. I mean, come on. It just goes to show just basically how lame Harry and Meghan really are and how talentless they really are. So guys, if you haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany and I do a lot of commentary on royals, and I also do news, gossip, fashion, television shows, movies, and history. I do it all here, so if you guys want to subscribe, that would be great. I have a video planned for next week, which I haven't filmed yet, but I will film this weekend. Just giving you guys all the details about my upcoming trip to the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Every day is literally packed to the brim with activities, going different places, and it's all for you guys and for me as well. I'm going to enjoy it, but it's all for you guys as well, getting just a ton of content for the channel, and I can't wait to show you guys what I've got up my sleeve. And so that'll be coming out next week, and I'll probably be a little light on videos next week because I'm in the process of moving. So guys, just wanted to give you a heads up, but we've got this breaking news. It came out yesterday. This video is going to go up Friday, so it's Thursday now, but it came out on Wednesday. Keeping Up with the Sussexes, it is coming. Yes, I am as terrified as you are about the prospect of seeing Harry and Meghan waltz around their $15 million mansion lecturing us and trying to be reality television stars, even though they've harped about privacy, security, and so many other things. They're just the king and queen of hypocrisy. And this new show just proves how kind of just terrible they've been post-Megxit. So it came out in page 6 that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that they were actually going to do a reality television show. They had denied this at first. They said, oh, no, we would never do this. Of course not. But as it turns out, like page 6 says, Netflix wants its pound of flesh. And as it turns out, they've kind of realized as well that Harry and Meghan are a pretty talentless, hopeless duo, and they just don't have anything to offer except their connection to the royal family. So here's what some of page 6 has said. It's Keeping Up with the Sussexes. Netflix will finally get its pound of flesh from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with an at-home with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex style docu-series, page 6 can reveal. Hollywood insiders are abuzz about the show, but while we're told that Netflix chiefs would like the series to end by the end of the year to tie in with Harry's hotly anticipated memoir, the Sussex camp would rather air it next year. The timing is still being discussed and things are up in the air, said one producer in the show. This is not necessarily a huge shock. So we've seen this recently that Harry and Meghan, when they went to New York on their pseudo-royal tour, which was just utterly bizarre because Harry and Meghan are not royals. They don't represent anything but themselves and their own business interests. Were basically, they were basically kind of served by the people of New York. They were given this immense hospitality to basically run around with a camera crew following them, taking pictures at the UN and harping on about nonsense, reading books to young children who are impoverished, and then Meghan giving her book to children who are impoverished, promising them I think it was a washing machine. I don't know if that ever got delivered. That hasn't been confirmed, and giving away a little bit of money to make it look like they're charitable. But on this trip, it first came out from the New York Post as well, that a camera crew were following them while they were doing this. And we also got a couple pictures of Harry wearing a mic. And in addition, Meghan, it kind of came up as well because Meghan was wearing these huge heavy winter coats in September when it was still quite warm in New York City, and wearing basically things that were kind of overly big and stuff like that. And people were wondering, well, why are you wearing this gigantic wool coat when it's 70 degrees outside, head to toe in a pantsuit with everything looks like long sleeves and stuff. It was very confusing to people. I mean, some of it I think was to kind of camouflage that she still had some lingering baby weight, No shame in that, but I think that was some of the motivation, and that's what I thought initially. But then once you saw all the camera stuff, and it's like, oh, they're filming. And now Page Six has officially confirmed that yes, that is what they were doing. And we've been told initially when Harry and Meghan first made their deal with Netflix that one of their shows would be Pearl, which was an animated TV series starring a 12-year-old who was most likely a Meghan Markle clone of some sort. And she was gonna like meet women of history or something like that. And it was a cartoon geared towards children, which I think sounds incredibly boring, and I'm a historian. So it just sounded kind of dull and, just didn't sound very interesting. And their other documentary supposedly was gonna be Hearts of Invictus. But as soon as I saw these camera crews, I just pinned it right there. I was like, reality television show. That's what Harry and Meghan are doing. And you know what? I was right. I actually mentioned this on my my website, royalnewsnetwork.com. If you haven't been there before, you should check it out. I'm not posting as much on there as I would like to because I'm so busy with trying to get and edit videos and put them together. And that does take a decent amount of time, guys. Absolutely no doubt. So again, this information that they are filming a reality show is not a shock. However, it is disappointing and kind of goes with my general theme is that Harry and Meghan, unfortunately for them, just have no talent. And they have no, well, I shouldn't say talent. Obviously, they have talents in something. But they have no acumen for what they were trying to do. And it shows you how idiotic the whole Megxit thing was from the jump. So Harry, just to give you a little background on Harry and Meghan in terms of their quote unquote artistic skills, is that Harry had to cheat on an art exam to pass high school. They actually helped him cheat because in the English schools, you have to pick certain subjects to graduate with. One of his was art, and they had to help him cheat on it. Now, if you have to cheat in art is subjective, you should not need to cheat there. No excuse for that. And then Meghan was and is a terrible actress. She can actually kind of fake being demure for being a duchess, but she really is a horrible actress. She was not very successful, despite the fact that her father was a lighting director. And if you know anything about Hollywood, there's a huge amount of nepotism in there. If you look at almost anyone in the industry, they have a family member somewhere in their family, in their tree, who works in the industry in some form or another. That Meghan, despite her father being a lighting director, now he's was kind of low tier. He was on Married with Children, so he was, pretty successful, and he won an Emmy Award, but I think it was like a daytime Emmy instead of the Emmys. And so he was very good. And her ex-husband was a producer, but he refused to put her up for parts because she sucks. And and she got her role on Suits eventually, but that has been her only notable role. Most of her other things have been like 2-bit, very quick things. And so she's not even like a character actress. She can't, do kind of bigger things. And so the idea that she was going to become this big producer all of a sudden and have, and her and Harry were going to be basically these creatives, I always thought was utterly moronic because they just don't have the acumen for it. There's nothing wrong with that. They just, the career path they were trying to go into was just never going to work for them. And then you add in as well that I think they're really bad business people. So we've seen this in kind of a variety of things of when it comes to, they signed these deals with Netflix and Spotify. We've almost had nothing from either of those properties yet, and it's been over a year and a half. Now, granted, some things do take time. However, it shouldn't take this long to do. So especially when it comes to Spotify, they've only been able to produce one actual full episode of the podcast, and it aired in December 2020. Meghan's show is supposedly going to Archetypes is going to debut later this summer or this fall, which also sounds dull and uninteresting and not anything anybody would want. They weren't able to create anything other than one podcast episode, 35 minutes, and they have a whole team of people helping them. So either they couldn't do it, they didn't want to do it, or they just thought they could coast. I don't know. Because I do this, guys, and this takes a while. The video editing oftentimes takes hours, especially if I'm putting in a lot of videos and pictures. It takes hours to do. It's not a quick and easy process. I stay up oftentimes well past 11 o'clock, sometimes midnight, to try to get things done. And then I go to work the next morning and work a full day. And then oftentimes on my lunch, I actually work on this channel and work on my Instagram and try to do a couple other things while I'm eating my lunch. So I do that all the time. And then I am going to add a podcast later with my sister. That's going to be an every other week thing. That's what I'm planning. It'll be sometime in June. I do all this by myself. Like Harry and Meghan, I would dream to have the team that they have to help them. That they couldn't do it just shows you it shows you a lot of things. So I think at the end of the day, this kind of announcement has kind of revealed several things to us. Number one is that Harry and Meghan just do not have the talent or acumen for what they're attempting to do. You do a reality show, I think, at some points is because you really just don't have anything else to sell. You can sell yourself, and that's it. And that's what reality TV show is. You're selling your personality. I mean, oftentimes it is fake, but you are basically selling your soul to the public in a way. And oftentimes these reality TV shows eventually start to bring out the worst in people. And so there's a TV show on USA. I catch it from time to time, but I often think the dad is weird, so I haven't really watched it. But it's called like Chrisley Knows Best, I think. And I was just reading through like this whole laundry list of everything that's happened to them in like the last several years and the history and everything. And it's just like one family drama after another. They're currently on trial for like wire fraud and like, felony convictions. Like the husband and wife and their, I think, accountant are facing some very, very serious jail time, like very serious jail time. And, I just look at that show and going, well, I did that. I mean, I think it's some of that business stuff is involved in things that before they started the reality TV show, I was like, but did the reality TV show help? Did it help your relationship with your kids, or did it make them worse because you were wanting to put on this show for the public that wasn't necessarily true? Because that's the thing about a reality TV show. It is a show, and you are putting on something to the public. And the second thing we can get from Harry and Meghan at this point is that they're pretty bad business people. I'm doing this, and I'm not great with money and those sorts of things. And so I'm by no means perfect. However, I think Harry and Meghan, despite all the people they have surrounding them, have done themselves a huge, huge disservice by being really crappy business people. And what I mean by that is that they are really, really lousy at building and maintaining relationships and networking. And that is a huge, huge, huge part of business. Now, you can say what you want about the Kardashians. Yes, I don't think they have a ton of talent necessarily. Like they can't act, they can't, do other things. Some of them are pretty dumb, I think. However, they've managed what they do have. Like they've turned not having a talent into a talent, which is pretty incredible. But they're also very good business people. And according to some of the things that I've read and heard is that, especially the older Kardashians, so that's Kim, Khloe, and I think to a lesser extent Kourtney, is that they're exceptionally good when it comes to meeting with press. They're very, very professional. They're very courteous. They're very kind. And that was something their mother really drilled into them when they were first starting, is they took every interview. They did everything basically kind of the public wanted them to do. And it worked really well in their favor, and they were able to build really, really good relationships. Now, relationships internally within the family are something different. However, when it comes to business and growing things, you have to be on time. You have to put in effort. And I know a lot of people do a lot of different things for them, but you have to have somewhat of a vision to get yourself ahead. And the Kardashians really do have that. And Harry and Meghan don't. I still don't know what Archewell does. It just exists. They make announcements every once in a while to let us know that it didn't die a pitiful death somewhere, because I think it got $50,000 in donations or something like that in a year, which is pretty pitiful given all the press that they have for it. And they also don't, you'll notice this, I just started to know this as well, is that Harry and Meghan jump on projects that have already started and almost, it feels like they're trying to take credit for it, or they'll take credit at the end when it's successful. And so it's like parental leave. Meghan jumped on that ship, even though somebody else was already doing it. She jumped on that. She jumped on the Marshall Plans for Moms, and she jumped on that. And so it's like, well, if it's successful, then she can say, oh yes, I was part of Marshall Plans for Mom. I helped do A, B, C, D, E, F. And does she really? Or does she just sign her name to it and is just going to take partial credit when she can? And you see this both with Harry and Meghan. They just jump on things all the time. There's no rhyme or reason. Like, they kind of vaguely do things that are, you know, they're pro-environment. They want to do parental leave. They also want to protect the kids on the internet. They also, you know, kind of told us who to vote for last year. Like, they do just so many different things that I think people can't keep up with them and kind of what they're like, you know, we just don't have a great vision of who they are and what they want to do. And so the final problem that Harry and Meghan have is, you know, given the talentlessness, the lack of business acumen, that, you know, they just really, really stink at this. I think and so it's all led up to this thing where they have to do something. They've been given money by Spotify, by Netflix, and all these businesses, I'm sure we're expecting Harry and Meghan to get on top of it. I mean, you have nothing else to do during the pandemic. There's a lot of different things you can do. And Harry and Meghan just did jack squat. And I think page 6 is right, as Netflix is demanding its pound of flesh, saying you need to do something. You cannot sit on your butt anymore and not do anything. And if you have no talent for anything else, and we can see that now, we see that you just don't have really anything else to offer, we want you to talk about the royal family. You need to talk about the royal family. That's the only thing you have to barter with at this point. And I think Harry and Meghan have pushed themselves into this corner by not thinking through what they were going to do and not having a good plan and really thinking that they were better than the monarchy. That was Harry and Meghan's ultimate downfall. A lot of people have said, and I've heard this floating around recently, that Meghan thought, well, the monarchy needs me more than I need them. Meghan made the mistake of thinking that she was the star. Well, if you look at our own solar system, you know, the sun is our star in our solar system. The star, when it comes to the royal family, is the crown. Everybody else is just rotating around it at various degrees, like our planets rotate around the sun. Meghan is way, way far back there, and so is her husband, and she's technically orbiting whatever planet he is. I know, kind of weird analogy, but I actually think it really does work. And so Harry and Meghan have made this huge, colossal, massive mistake of thinking that they are more important than they actually are. And they've really shot themselves in the foot and are being forced to basically peddle off of their royal titles, the royal influence, to basically make this whole deal work. It's just very, very sad, and shows that Harry and Meghan, I think, kind of, to me, the ultimate sadness is that this was not Harry's dream. I posted about this on Instagram recently and Twitter as well, is that Harry's, I think, if he had his way, his original vision for whatever they would have done post-Brexit would have been following something similar to what Chelsea Davy has done. So Chelsea Davy was his former girlfriend. She was from South Africa. She kind of lives between there and the UK now, so she kind of travels, and she traveled more before the pandemic and a little bit during, and she, you know, she just has these amazing vacations. She's out in nature all the time, and she actually has 2 businesses now. She runs Aya Jewelry, which does jewelry mined from Africa, gemstones and diamonds and those sorts of things. And then she also does Aya Travel, which is basically a high-end luxury Africa travel, where people go on safaris and do guides and all these sorts of things. Just looking at her life and how she's leading it, apparently she just got married. She's also had a child. And, you know, Harry and Chelsea maybe would have never worked out because of personality, what have you. But I look at Harry right now and I think he is fitting into the box that Meghan Markle wanted for her life. She wanted fame. She wanted fortune. She couldn't do it on her own. So she managed to grab a guy who is pretty damaged, not that bright, and wind him up and tell him that we are better than the rest of your family. We are the stars. We can do anything. And then, as it turns out, they really can't. And they're stuck now with their decision. I don't think they have a great direction or, you know where they want to go. And they're just throwing things up against the wall. And the thing that's kind of easiest is a reality TV show where they show off their lives and peddle off their royal titles. And Netflix wants this sooner rather than later, because you can already see them backtracking because they're trying to get it released in 2023. Maybe they're hoping the Queen's still alive or that she's died and that their kids are already titled and they don't face the possibility of their prince and princess titles potentially being revoked if they were even to get them in the first place. And they're wanting to tie it around the release of Harry's biography, which I think makes sense. And Harry and Meghan are just kind of dragging their feet. And it seems like they've been dragging their feet the entire time in every single one of these deals. And I just feel sad for Harry because I think he bought into what Meghan sold him. She told him she was an exceptionally talented, successful actress. And he was so gobsmacked and in love with her and in lust with her that when he watched her stuff, he was like, oh, honey, you are so great. You are the best actress ever. Even though she was very, very pitiful actress. She's just really, really bad. And he just believed everything. And so he thought, yeah, we could do this. And then they kind of thought they could coast, I think, and not work that hard. And it's like, if Netflix is going to pay you $100 million, they want something for their $100 million. And Harry and Meghan, they just can't do it. They just can't. And so they have to resort to a reality TV show showing how really they're just kind of no talent hacks at this point. And you compare that to Catherine and William, who were at the premiere for, Top Gun Maverick last night. Catherine looking great in a Roland Moret dress, William looking spiffy. And you just look at that and you go, look at Harry and Meghan, gonna slum it with a reality TV show and go, you guys gave up a lot to look really stupid. And you know what? You kind of deserve everything you get, I think, at this point when it comes to Harry and Meghan. So guys, let me know what you think. What do you think of Harry and Meghan's new reality TV show? I refuse to call it a docuseries or a documentary. I've always called it a reality TV show, and I'm so glad I did. I stand by it to this day. We'll have to see what the final product looks like, but reality TV show, I think that's the right speed for them. So guys, let me know what you think about it. Are you going to watch it? Are you going to hate watch it? Or, what are you going to do? What do you think about Harry and Meghan's newest reality TV show venture? Do you think it'll fail? Do you think they'll make such colossal mistakes that they kick themselves out of the line of succession and their titles? I think that's probably coming at this point. So guys, again, let me know what you think in the comments. Sound off. Don't forget to like and share this video as well. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye.